Students and staff at one Eastern Kentucky school that was devastated by the 2022 flood are now thriving back in their home building. And a potential terror attack is thwarted as FBI agents arrest a man believed to have been plotting an attack on Election Day.
And we're seeing temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We'll see a little bit of a warming trend before they start crashing down for next week. Details in a few minutes.
Mountain News, first at 4, continues.
A man accused of killing his girlfriend's toddler in Whitley County is now expected to spend the rest of his life behind bars. Jordan Taylor originally entered a not guilty plea following the death of 3-year-old Amora Smallwood. Today, he changed that plea to guilty. Alyssa Williams has the details.
Prosecutors say justice is being served in a Whitley County murder case after Jordan Taylor, the man accused of killing 3-year-old Amora Smallwood, has changed his plea from not guilty to guilty Wednesday morning.
Count 1, murder, how do you plead? Count 2, sodomy, first degree, how do you plead? Count 3, strangulation, first degree, how do you plead?
His life's over. There's no trial, there's no appeals. There's no post-conviction proceedings. He is going to prison for the rest of his natural life.
Commonwealth's attorney Ronnie Bowling says Taylor admitted to charges of murder, first-degree sodomy, and first-degree strangulation.
And we had always intended on not making any offers, and we never did. We never made an attempt to resolve this. We were pushing this to the max. This was his request to plead guilty as charged in exchange for life in prison without the possibility of parole. Actually, it's 2 life sentences, one for murder, one for sodomy.
Bowling says this was one of the toughest cases he's dealt with, given Smallwood's injuries that led to her death.
And I know a lot of people would prefer to see him receive the death penalty. I understand that. I would. But the nature of Kentucky right now, there's a moratorium on the death penalty in Kentucky. You know, things could change in the future. That moratorium could be lifted. Other states have started exploring alternative execution methods. If Kentucky goes down that road, maybe we approach these kind of cases differently.
Amora's mother, Alexandra Ward, still faces charges of complicity to murder and complicity to strangulation in this case. Bowling says he intends on prosecuting her to the fullest extent of the law as well. In Whitley County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT.
Ward is currently scheduled to go to trial in March of next year. Additionally, Taylor faces a murder charge in Clay County. In that case, he's accused in the 2020 death of a baby. The indictment accuses Taylor of smothering the child. A trial in that case is expected to begin in September 2026.
Well, we are seeing plenty of sunshine out there again today. Temperatures right now are still in the 60s and 70s, much like this past week overall. Take a look outside with live pinpoint Doppler radar and you can see all is quiet across eastern Kentucky. High pressure is in control and it's going to stay in control as we go throughout the remainder of the week. Take a look here now at the temperatures. You can see a live look outside. You can see over towards Buffalo Mountain a picture perfect afternoon. Across eastern Kentucky, no wind to talk about. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. Perfect weather, in my opinion. 75 in Manchester, 75 Somerset. Monticello's at 73. London's at 73. We're at 72 in Hazard. Then 60s from Grundy to Clintwood down to Wise. The next 12 hours keeps us clear. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s and low 60s by the 11 o'clock hour. 5 a.m. we'll go to 52 degrees, and we'll do it all over again for the day on Thursday. There's future view. You can see as we go throughout the evening hours, we stay clear. It's going to pave the way for plenty of sunshine as we go throughout the day on Thursday. But there's a change somewhere in the 7-day, and it's going to consist of cooler temperatures. Details on the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right. Thank you very much, Eric. We told you last week how Buckhorn School received statewide recognition for student success in the 2023-24 school year. That was while they were in a temporary location approximately 45 minutes away from Buckhorn. Now students and staff are nearly 2 months back in their home building. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how they have made a smooth transition.
Attendance has increased this year here at Buckhorn School as students and staff return to their home building. While they are still putting on the final touches to reconstruction, students and staff have been able to find a routine. Principal Jennifer Hickerson says being at home has helped.
It's back into a routine, yeah. Staff and students it's just like coming home, just like if you were away from your house on vacation and you come home. And just things just go back to normal, I guess. It's more like just our normal now.
Hickerson says attendance has increased from approximately 80 students last year to 90 students this year, largely contributed to being back home. The principal also says they have a preschool for the first time in several years. In Buckhorn, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
The basketball court is expected to be finished in time for the upcoming season. The name of Uvalde, Texas's newest school pays tribute to the victims of the 2022 Robb Elementary mass shooting. The board approved the name Tuesday evening, Legacy Elementary. The new school featured tributes to the 21 students and teachers who were killed at Robb Elementary. Legacy Elementary is under construction 2 miles away from Robb Elementary. It will replace the old school. The plan is for Legacy to be ready by next school year. The FBI has arrested an immigrant from Afghanistan on suspicion of planning an Election Day terror attack in the U.S. Agents arrested Nasir Ahmad Tawhedi Monday after officials say the 27-year-old took steps to purchase AK-47 rifles and ammunition, going so far as to sell off his family's home to raise money. An FBI search of the suspect's phone revealed ISIS propaganda and a history of Google searches like how to access Washington, D.C. cameras. Police in Israel are investigating after they say a stabbing attack wounded 6 people. Authorities in the city of Hadera say at least 6 people were wounded in the stabbing attack as the assailant, who was riding a motorcycle, stabbed people in 4 separate locations. The suspect was apprehended by police. Israel has been on high alert since the Hamas assault a year ago sparked the war in Gaza, while the conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon continues to escalate. The CIA is struggling with its own Me Too moment as allegations of sexual assault spill into the open. Courts in Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. have been quietly hearing cases of alleged sexual assault at the spy agency for more than a year now. Female whistleblowers also testified recently to congressional oversight committees about other allegations of sexual assault and harassment at the agency. A new study suggests COVID-19 could increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes 3 years after an infection. Researchers say people who had COVID-19 in 2020 were 2 times more likely to have a major cardiac event when compared to people who did not. If a person had been hospitalized for their infection, the risk was more than 3 times higher than for people without COVID-19. Researchers also found that blood type could be playing a role. A longtime feature on the Vegas Strip is no more. The Tropicana Hotel was brought down in a planned implosion early this morning after 67 years on the famed Strip. The spectacle began with a show of drones and pyrotechnics celebrating the iconic hotel and casino. It took more than a ton of explosives to take down both towers, and even visitors planned their trip specifically to say goodbye.
Well, we had this in our book too. We were going to make the date to come up here to come see it.
I got dust mask, safety glasses. I'm all set.
The now vacant spot is set to become the future home of the former Oakland Athletics baseball team, with plans for a 33,000-seat stadium. Coming up on First at 4, Star Wars fans will soon be able to bid on an original Stormtrooper helmet. We'll tell you how much it's expected to bring in at auction.
And in the world of weather, sunglasses will be needed for a little bit. We'll see a mild weekend, about 50s around the high end. Details on the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Stay with us.